I feel really safe because there are so many elements to this. And when people say, well, why haven't we known about this before? Well, I've spent 20 years in nearly 50 countries researching a great stream of different subjects which on the face of it appear completely unconnected. And it's only when you connect these apparently unconnectable subjects and areas of society and life that the puzzle pieces fit to the point where you can go, oh, I can see it now. Now, billions of people wake up every morning and they go to work, or they try to survive another day. They're not spending 20 years fitting these pieces together. So how can they see it? Until I started fitting them together, I couldn't see it. I was very skeptical of authority, always was, and the people who claim to be in power, but this bigger picture, I hadn't got a clue. And one of the areas, to come to your question, that I've understood more and more in the last few years has to be looked at before we can understand the true nature of what's going on in the world, and that's actually the true nature of reality. And how we can control our own reality instead of having our reality dictated to us. I mean, you know, we think we are at the cutting edge of human knowledge and everything. And yet, if you stop someone in the street out there or in any other city in the world, and you said to them, who are you? Where do you come from? Where are you going when this is over? And what is the nature of reality? Huh? And here we are, living our lives every day in this world, and we don't even know what this world is. The few who are behind the people we see, they know what this world is. And they know how the mind works. They know how, if you can control the way people think and perceive, you can completely control their lives. If I want to wave my hand about, my hand doesn't wave about. I have thought to wave my hand. So if you can control that level of people, then their behavior is completely controlled by you. And I went through the last few years looking at this deeper level of this conspiracy, how we're manipulated to think and perceive the way that suits the agenda. And of course, even on a simple level, if you can get the vast majority of people to perceive the European Union as a good thing, to perceive that it is the only way forward, to perceive it is their safety, to perceive it's the way to secure them economically, they'll agree to join the European Union. There'll be no problem. If you get the minds first. And I started to understand amazing things. And that is, this world we think is solid, not solid at all. The only place this world exists in the apparent physical form we think we see is in our heads. The five senses just take vibrational information, turn it into electrical signals, feed it to the brain, and from that information the brain constructs our reality. It's a computer system, basically, on the physical level. You know, when we want to go onto the internet, we can't just go on the internet. We go on the internet through an interface called a computer. That takes us on the internet. That's what the body is. It's a computer system that takes consciousness and allows it to experience this reality, just as we experience the internet through our computers. And what I've understood, we'll go into it at length now, but I certainly will over the weekend in the two talks, what I've realized is that those in the shadows who understand how the system works, they've hijacked the computer. They're dictating its sense of reality. They're programming the computer Now, if you wanted to program a human computer system to see the world the way you want them to see it, then what would you say? You sit around a table. Well, I don't know if they'd agree to this because it's outrageous, but what if we could get them to agree to give us their children from a very early age and let us have control of what their children receive in terms of information and perception of possibility in themselves at least 5 days a week for their entire childhood and teenage years. During this, if they'd let us do that, then we at the end of it would turn out people who are programmed purely by repetition, never mind anything else, to see the world the way we want them to see it. And then, of course, once we've done that to a few generations of people, those people called parents will then pass on that programming to the next generation, and so it goes on, and so it goes on. And so we have been subjected to mind programming over generation after generation after generation. So most people in the world already see the world the way those manipulating want us to see it. And therefore, they're not people who are making conscious decisions based on weighing up the situation. They are people who are merely following the programmed perception, thinking that they're coming to their own conclusions. Now, I could talk for hours about the European Union and its real agenda, but vast numbers of people, obviously, from what I'm being told, in Croatia, have bought the idea the European Union is a good thing and we should join it, and there's virtually no debate going on. It's a done deal.